Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Sahila binti Yaakob and my student ID is 2020893632. This video is for my individual assignment, which is TPT270, and I would like to present about topic 2, which is demand and supply characteristics of the transport market. Okay, firstly, pattern of the demand. Definition of demand is the desire to purchase goods. Other than that, the willingness and the ability to pay for that good at a given time. Law of demand is when price increases, the quantity demanded will decrease. Next is demand for transport. For urban areas, every day, demand for road space and public transportation is higher in the early morning and late afternoon. For the interurban areas, demand for passenger transport changes throughout the year with strong seasonal peaks. Okay, let's move to the variations in the demand level. So there are 6 determinants of demand. First is income. Increase in income will enable more people to afford the use of transport services. Therefore, increase in demand level will shift the demand curve. Next is fashion or trend. Transport is no different, and over time these determinants had a massive impact upon transport markets. The third is price. Price of other goods and services. There are 2 categories of other goods and services that may impact upon the basic price or quantity relationship, which is substitute goods or complementary goods. Fourth is the expectation of future price, which is how the price of transport service will change in the future and will affect what is purchased today. For example, daily commuters may purchase a 1-year season ticket if fares are expected to rise. Next is speed of service. Consumers will prefer to have a high-speed type of transportation. Lastly, quality services. There must be a frequency, standard of services, comfort, reliability, and safety. Okay, other factors that relate to demand transport is, the first one is derived demand. Demand for transport is derived demand. This refers to demand for one good or services in one sector occurring as a result of demand from another. It also can be considered as induced or latent demand. The second is time specific. When transport services are demanded, they are demanded now. It also has a short expiry date due to the nature of demand. Once the date expires, the need to make a particular journey will no longer exist. Lastly, followed peak and trough. Demand for most goods and services follow some kind of cyclical pattern, such as year, weekly, and monthly. Okay, what is peak demand? Peak demand is the higher demand during peak period for goods and services. But when demand is excessive, congestion will happen. The cause of the peak is passenger and freight. For passenger transport is movement of people. This usually happens when they go for holidays or they have a coincidence of activities. Next is freight. For freight transportation, the demand is a function of nature and the importance of economic activities. For example, seasonal or festive seasons, delivery schedule, and import or export period. Okay, move to the problem solution and consequence of peak demand. Okay, problem of peak demand is congestion. This happens when demand is more than supply at the given period in time. This also happens when number of private vehicles increases on the road. Next is high accident rate, which is this occurs when vehicles collide with other vehicles. Other than that, increase in traveling time. This happens when passengers are stuck in traffic congestion for such a long time, with a slower speed and long queues of vehicles. Lastly, high cost. To be cost effective, many transport operators will offer different levels of service throughout the week to minimize their operating costs. Okay, for the solution of peak demand is use other transport modes, which is use monorail, LRT or KTM to help reduce congestion happens. Next, the operator makes an early plan so there will not be a high cost. It is also easy to supply more transport during the festive season. Other than that, police should sue people that use emergency lane so it can help to reduce accidents during congestion and also help not to have an accident on the road. Lastly, the government should provide other alternative ways to reduce travelling time and also reduce congestion. Okay, there are three consequences during off-peak demand. Firstly is excess capacity. Second is waste of resources. Lastly is the existence of empty backhaul. Okay, move to the last part, which is case study. Based on the article that I have studied, there are several problems about kereta api Tanah Melayu Berhad that have been mentioned by some KTMB users. Among them are the public refuse to use KTMB service because of their facilities. They also said that they rather use their private vehicle than public transport because of their inaccurate schedule. Other than that, there is extreme traffic congestion in some areas, such as in the Klang Valley. Okay, for my opinion, if all road users use public transport, such as KTMB, traffic congestion may be reduced. It is also more cost effective in terms of both time and money. Apart from that, because it is Malaysia's main rail operator, this KTMB may be of interest to tourists. Okay, for the suggestion, KTMB should make improvement of facilities at the station, such as their toilets, information on service board, their schedule, and many more. Next is KTMB should introduce additional package or rewards that can capture the interest of customers to use their service. For example, do a monthly pass or make a redeem coupon. Lastly, create any software or apps to trace customer journeys and fares all by few touch. It will help the travel go more smoothly. Based on one of my friend's experience, Adriana, she told me that the train arrived later than the estimate time on the given timetable. Furthermore, some trains routes will be shut off before they reach the last station. In conclusion, public transportation is underused nowadays, especially during seasonal celebrations such as Hari Raya, Christmas, and others, whether in urban or suburban areas. As a result, when many people prefer to use their private vehicles, congestion, accidents, and travel delay will occur. So that's all from me. Thank you.